Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? 5:56 in the morning. Am I supposed to be back to bed sleeping again? August 13th, 2024, and it's Tuesday. Okay, it's Tuesday. There's Zombie Weaver, John C. Roseman in California. Just trying to figure things out left and right. Okay, that being said, yeah, wake up looking at looking at stuff again, and I'm thinking to myself, "Holy crap! Why am I doing this to myself in the morning?" Oh, shall we get into politics, boys and girls, or shall we not? Because we have people going back and forth at each other. Noting that we have let commercial autocratic societies pop up to control everything. But when that gets interfered with by a foreign party, by a foreign entity, trying to say that, yes, we did this thing. There was supposed to have been an interview on the Twitter account. A gas bag was supposed to be kowtowing or trying to make nice with a global empire, a commercial global empire, or pirate, however you want to look at the guy. You think he's brilliant, but you also think he's an asshole. And somehow, in an interview, that something got interfered with. They've been talking about it the past couple of days. And the followers are like, "What happened? Our God is not talking to us." Yeah, well, good. Guy built an empire over the past decade and a half of communication satellites that we depend upon. The Starlinks and people to run on them. Foreign countries running on them. That's a lot of commercial clout. That's a lot of money coming in. And a lot of steep price to pay to have a communication grid going on. Worse than that, over the past 20 years, within that time period, I'll take that back. Within the past 30 years, we lost our ability, the United States lost the ability to send ships up in the International Space Station that it built with its fleet because the cost overruns had gotten too much for NASA, too much overhaul on an aging shuttle system. Didn't they think of it at the time? They didn't really think of it at the time? Apparently not. So I guess not. So we had to depend upon other countries, actually other companies, to keep an aging shuttle fleet going. Well, we retired him because it was too cost, too much. And now we got a stuck capsule, almost becoming a permanent addition to the International Space Station, which, as I understand it, within the next few more years, the thing's going to be flying through the atmosphere in pieces. And we still got nothing to go up there for a space station, for scientific stuff. We have to depend upon the private companies, aerospace companies, who are trying to get commercial hotel systems or something up there. Not another space station that we could actually all call an international space station. No, we're going to be flying to the moon. We can't fly to the moon because we depended upon private entities to get up their dead asses and get something going. But no, we're going to be flying this rocket. We'll keep blowing up left and right and saying that we're making progress and having everybody cheer every time the damn thing blows up. But we're coming close. No, because it was back in the 60s. See, I'm so stuck on the romanticism that was sold to the American public that we actually had in the 60s through the 70s. A decade that was going to be pushing us to the brink of getting a ship to the moon and just planting a flag and trying to get a little science going. And after that, we abandoned it. Too costly, too cost effective. I mean, it's just too costly to send more people up to the moon. Well, we also had a political stake in the thing. We didn't make it nationalized this time. No, but we had it nationalized because we followed the president and followed the president's dream of going out into the world and flying to the moon and had the romanticism of it. If we continued on by building a space station or at least a base out there, it would have been better. But no. Political pundits right now are talking and commenting and trying to figure out this one pirate of an empire. 1 second. Okay, somewhere in the background, you're probably going to be hearing MSNBC talking about things like I'm talking about. But what I'm trying to stay away from is the disillusionment that's already there. We've given too many people too much power and control. We've allowed it to happen because we needed the services we kept telling ourselves. Starlink's one of them. We needed satellite cheaper, and we needed our internet, and we are demanding it because we're addicted to our Wi-Fi like crazy. We want the faster, cheaper, reliable communication satellites. Global. And in doing so, we give people too much power over that thing. It's as if one particular mogul is just, he wants space on one side of his personality, but the other one, he likes power, control, and chaos and confusion. And he courts people that way because it suits his screwed up personality. So we have people like Trump kowtowing, promising left and right, but still craving that damn power. Kind of reminds me of some people I know in Congress. Did the same thing. They're screaming and yelling for it because they also want the power. It's not what responsibility is. They don't want the responsibility. It's no wonder people have a problem and a concept issue with democracy, because it is one of the weaker things of government systems. Excuse me. I'll stir. We keep hoping that the 2024 will be better and not with the dictatorship going on, both commercial and government and economic. We already had dictatorships trying to conquer each other or topple each other, but we also have freedom-funding countries that are still get pissed off about dictators coming in our country telling them what's going on, and then a few years later, after getting some weaponry, it's not the promise, but actually getting the weaponry, they start using it, making border crossings, and then taking the fight to the enemy who just invaded their country. Headlines are not dominating enough. Politicians want to bury their lives because they don't want that kind of thing. It's affecting their bottom line. Their bottom line is they want to survive. Not politically, but they want to survive physically. They want to have money. I think money is going to be it. If the economy tanks, they still want more money because we need to get the resources. What happens if the resources get used up? How dare that be said? But the resources will always be there, will they? We're living on a limited planet here. We can't renew everything. We're not able to renew everything. We're trying to renew. We're trying to invent new technologies to keep the energy level going. Maybe recycle the stuff enough to get some things going on, but we know that we're going to be overusing this planet like crazy. We made We'd made media of sorts to reflect that. Do you think we learned it? Nah. It's nice Hollywood fodder or Bollywood fodder. We throw it out there. Now we got artificial intelligence to make something similar to that effect that we like to enjoy because now the computer is going to be entertaining us like this. Right. We already written and produced our own material. Now we got a computer copying that damn thing and think it's wonderful. We're so worried about being conquered. We write things to scare the hell out of us, and yet it slowly conquers and has conquered. I guess I'm trying to write this for posterity. Trying to analyze what we're telling. I mean, we're shouting and yelling and talking and screaming at each other. Are we communicating or are we acting like primates? Deserve to be locked up, yelling and screaming at each other and trying to turn into a bloodbath where only one survives, right? Is that how it works? If there was intelligent life out there in the universe, why the hell would they want to be interested in us? I mean, if they have the same level of technology and found out that we were interesting, we're probably dead to them. I mean, it takes a long time for light to go from one place to another place to another place to another place. We're looking at this faraway place and think it's fine. We're looking at the past, basically past images of it, not the current. If there was a way of traveling instantaneously from one place to another place, unfolding space and time, that'd be something interesting. But then again, if they happen to take a look at our particular point of view and things happening here, oh yeah, easily manipulated, like we're trying to do to each other. They call me liberal, wokeism, and everything else going on. Let them. Yell and scream that their thing is better and their guy is better and greater than everything else. And start yelling and screaming his name like a damn lunatic. Like he's the second coming. And if he is the second coming, we're all screwed. And here's the other thing. We still have the religious fanatics out there still screaming and yelling. It's going to happen in our lifetime. It's going to happen in our lifetime. We see the signs. We see the signs coming from a book. Don't you understand? The book tells us everything. The book is everything. It's all by people who kept reiterating stories thousands of years ago of what life was supposed to be like. But we don't. We're living by someone else's imaginations. But this is the same shit we're doing to ourselves these days. Past couple hundred years. Or almost three. We warn ourselves concerning about making Frankensteins. And we do have Frankensteins out there. Emotionally and physical. That's terrifying. We worry about the gothic monsters out there that scares us, and yet we're our own worst nightmare, so we scare ourselves. Well, we don't know we're scared. We claim that our form of government is the highest or the best, and yet we're screwing up left and right. We got a democracy, other people taking over one way or another, and we don't even realize it. Monopolies over everything, creating their own empire without oversight, without rule, without anybody to oversee them. I guess this morning I'm feeling that kind of melancholy way, hearing people yelling and screaming and sniping and griping at each other. See, I'm not seeing the light side of things these days. I'm looking more into the gray areas instead of what they want me to see. I'm trying to see a little bit beyond it. And I got other people saying, see, you have to. No, I don't have to do anything. But yes, you must see it our way. Don't you understand? It's the only way. And if I happen to start thinking that way, I'm like, oh, great. Let's fall into the land of the lost, shall we? Go through some kind of time warp and enter in someone else's dementia. Well, we're having our own dementia. We can't see the certain leaders that we got propped up, old farts, who are supposed to be leaders for us because we put our faith and trust. And when one of them starts really failing left and right and struggling like crazy, they got no choice but to hand it over to the new successors. But the other one's depending upon memories and trying to rekindle the past again and hope that their rhetoric will get them in line. That's not happening. That's not happening. But some of the people are getting sick and tired of the same routine. The same old storyline that got this one guy in the office was maybe mentally competent. And they already let a power dictatorship happen. I mean, it was already pushing this guy through anyway. And now we got something else. Certain empires we've got out there. Commercial empires that run our world and our life. Our communications, our food, water, air, transportation, materials we depend upon. CEOs of this and this and this and this and this and this. Some actually allow regulation. Others don't. They want their own empire to be absolute. We're all dependent upon each other. That's the problem. We haven't really got into the resource war yet. We wrote about it, talked about it, made films about it, scared the hell out of it. But, no, we haven't lived through it yet. We haven't got through it yet. Dark, depressing sometimes my videos are because I make a hell of a lot of notations on my audio logs. And none are for listening just yet. I wouldn't even know where the hell to begin at this shit. Podcast will bore the crap out of a future generation. Some people think I'm intelligent, I'm a genius. My mother kept thinking so. I didn't. If I was a freaking genius, I'd be creating, writing, producing, not always watching what things are happening. And getting disgusted with a lot of things and just turned a blind eye to a lot of things. Fell into the cultural trap. I want this way because it's so nice, it looks nice, and it seems... And by the time you got it, it's like, what the hell am I having this in the first place? A little bit about it, I talked about it in the Olympic films. A little taste of it. But then again, I've already had it a long time ago. You watch somebody else's idea, and then you see someone's movement picking up to say, this is the point of the future. And then you get bought and sold in a shit. You see someone else's potential, what a future might look like if we chose to go for it. If not, we're still stuck in our same damn rut. We're still running around in that damn cage. We're still in that damn wheel. We can't get off of it. Here's some of the people spouting out the same tired cliches, and some people get sick and tired of one group, and they want another group to actually take control. Yeah, well, see the rallies change left and right. See the Somnics being passed out. Should have been Xanax out there. The way some of the people are concerned about one particular candidate and his viewpoints. But the other one, some people thought they're pumped up with something. But I'm seeing the effects of how people can be convinced that maybe a different directions ought to be better. Well, let's see what happens anyway. If people actually chose it or just rode out a wave until it just crested and that was it. I speak of metaphors. That's all I got is metaphors. How did Jesus do it? He was out there wanting to convert. He was not willing to convert. He was just willing to spread the word that he knew concerning about how believing in God one way and having a code of ethics, behaviors, something to treat people nicely. I mean, if you felt that way about you, why can't you treat the other people that way? It would have been simple enough message. If you're totally screwed up in your head, or want to help the other person out, but you're totally screwed up in the head, why don't you get your head unscrewed? I would have to look at him on that one. If Jesus was around, I think maybe if I had found a way to bring him back from the past into the future, into our time, like, you tell me, all the stuff that you just seen, or we just presented to you, you still think that we actually had a chance of living and surviving? Those live by the sword, die by the sword. We're already zombies then. We're already zombies. You don't want anybody else dying on your behalf, but you die on everybody else's behalf. A lot of people will probably look at Jesus and say, how hypocritical are you? Are you kidding me? Peter was willing to kill to keep you alive. Had a sword in his hand. You stayed his hand, said, those live by the thing, die by the thing. Yeah, what about you? You're going to be dying by this damn thing because I'm fated. Yeah, but the other people aren't they willing to sacrifice and be martyr to you? No, you're afraid of the martyrism. That's the problem there. You don't want anybody else taking the glory and everything else. Talking about ego, pride. Talking about being human. You want us to be nice to everybody else, but you keep forgetting the downside of things. See, that's one thing. There's never a balance that you're looking at here. There's always light, dark, and in between, there's that gray area. We're still trying to exist, and we're still trying to survive through. I could have a field day with him on this one. We try to be positive. We try to be someone else's version of it. And I don't like the idea of going after people left and right. I never have. We're talking about resource war. We're talking about control of our own lives or control about everything else. I sound like a damn heretic. I sound like a damn guy saying, all I want. I never wanted it in the first place. I'm not saying it's what I want. I'm saying what I'm observing. Wake up in the morning, I'm getting to them overloaded with this kind of crap in the morning, or even going to bed hearing about this crap, hearing about that crap, hearing about that crap. It's like, now I gotta start barfing this shit up here. It's like I'm trying to find the perfect world. We don't live in a perfect world. We live in a gray matter world, and we don't even realize it. When I would treat either people kindly, fine, treat them kindly. But we still hate the son of a bitch, and I know you're going to be doing something that breaks laws and rules and regulations. And then we got to put you on camera and embarrass the crap out of you. People stealing, when they get elected in office, think they got absolute power. There's no control over them. Rules and regulations and laws out there. Doesn't apply to me. I just grab all the money I can, spend because I am in control. I am this power. And then they see what the hell happens to the other people who look at them and like, you're supposed to help us out. Didn't happen. Guess what, pal? No, you can't do that to me. I'm so wonderful. Doesn't matter. You're still going to get your ass kicked. Why? Because the people said so. They installed you in there to hopefully be a representative to help to lead, but no, you just bled off with a credit card and start shopping like crazy and disappear. Now you can't get past the feeling that everyone else knows who you are beyond your own little borders. Twits. Thing we have concerning about our communication networks. Oh yeah, we'll know who the hell you are. Your face is out there all the time. Can't hide in a place. Of course, you were elected as a county or state or even federal. Even worse. The closer you get to a community and the lowest level, the more popular you are. But you get into the upper echelon, you think it disappear. Worse, because now you got the other backstabbers ready to backstab your ass in the pyramid. Yeah, a hell of a lot of stuff I keep talking here. Probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe I'm a guy just blithering his being a blither bladder and everything else going on. And hearing among politicians, aged, decrepit, and everything else going on mentally and physically, are trying to say what government's supposed to be or government's not supposed to be, and their version of it and their vision of it. And so some of the young people are still trying to say, no, we got to have something better than that. Well, they get in there and they start discovering that, no, it's not. So we keep listening to these decrepit, aged, old seniors. We're living in a state of decay. We don't even realize it. Don't care. They want the control. They want the state, the power. The glory. It's glorious. They're also a target, you assholes. I'm watching. I'm watching things as people are talking about it. We want our democracy safe. We want our democracy protected. We love our idea and idealism of democracy. We're willing to fight for it. We're willing to die and be martyrs to it. And while we try to have it, we have the other dictators trying to say, yes, we'll support democracy, but just don't bother to govern us. Don't bother to do this and don't bother to do that. Just leave us alone. We'll have your little democracy going on. You can have whatever it is. But for me, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. In order to keep freedom, in order to keep democracy going, they say one must have blood. But you can't negotiate. You have to use force on the damn shit. So what is our history and humanity is? If we want peace and freedom that badly, we're willing to kill for it. And kill we do. Until there's only barely enough people living and surviving that we'll look at the whole damage and carnage and saying, what the hell did we do to ourselves? Imagine if we actually did have a Heavenly Father up there looking at us, down on us. They're scratching their heads at us. What the hell did I create? Nah, he knew exactly what he was creating. Being self-respective and introspective about things like this, trying to be critical thinking about it. Watching too much of this shit go by in the sidelines. I know, I got other people saying, why don't you act? Why don't you do? Uh, no. No, I'm not getting into the head games. I'm not getting into that kind of crap. And maybe I'll regret the crap out of it by not getting myself involved in a lot of stuff like this, because yes, it is scary. We terrified ourselves. We terrified ourselves a long time ago. We don't even realize it. We create all this history of chaos and carnage and some kind of creation out of there. We're supposed to sit back on our laurels. No, but we still have to create the chaos and confusion. The more creationism out of it. Look at the state of the universe itself. I mean the physical state of the universe. Not just looking at our hands and feet and our toes. No, look up with an eyeball organ. Looking into the heavens, into the devices we make to extend our senses beyond. We're losing one of the electronics out there. After fuel has been spent up, Kepler's dying. Kepler's going to say bye-bye. And stick out there. It's a piece of junk. We keep alive with programming to keep aged devices out there still transmitting. Voyager 1, Voyager 2. In the interstellar gas it is. And wondering if it's still alive and still in one piece. We put up an aged decrepit station up there. We build it up with an aged decrepit shuttle fleet, which is now history toast and museum pieces. We try to bring up newfangled capsules we can't even get working these days. We're hearing people spouting out different ideas, ideologies, but still repeated the same damn shit. People just don't learn about history or anything else. I don't want to. I want to make their history, and yet, same damn shit. It's no wonder some people get sick and tired of all of it. We keep trying to see the new, but the thing is, it's like the universe keeps recycling itself. Because it has to. It's got no choice in life. If it can't renew, it just recycles. So we make a law in the universe regarding that one. Energy can't be destroyed. Energy can only be transformed. Yeah, back in the same old ideas again and again and again. We're cloning ourselves. Put a new paint. Not a new paint. Different way of looking at the damn paint. Nope, it's not different. Same. Just don't realize it. Yeah, I'm getting too dark and moody this morning. Haven't had coffee yet. Coffee's supposed to change our behavior, right? Nah, I just woke up this way. Seeing how things are tragic enough anyway, and people screaming and yelling at each other. And a quiet neighborhood here on the social media is the place where the people scream and yell at each other. Last night, I'm trying to get to sleep. Trying to get a dog settled down so I can go back to sleep again. There was a missing persons alert that popped out. And it was so insistent on the messenger that I had to get this message out around midnight. You had to send this to your town. And I'm looking at this message and thinking, are you out of your dumbass mind? Seriously, are you out of your dumbass? Nobody's awake or alive. They're trying to get some sleep. They get their own little lives at this point over here. But we need to find this person. There's a hell of a lot of people out there to be found. Trust me, I've been going through the damn social medias left and right. We got this posting over here. We got this posting over here. We got this posting over here. And the original posting that came out was 6 hours old. In that time period, do you think that thing was being posted out there so we can actually get anything going while people were alive and awake during that daytime? No, it has to be at midnight. So, okay, fine, throw the stuff out there. Make some pleas. And I'm asking myself, why the hell I did this again at midnight? Nobody's awake. Nobody's alive. Nobody gives a shit. I was reminded of a time. I was reminded of a time long ago when my brother had disappeared. My mother and I threw his ass out. He had used up a lot of good greases. I almost became that way. I almost threw out with him, but I didn't. Stayed home. Mom was going to salvage my ass, but threw my brother's ass out. He was getting so much into drugs and alcohol because of a lot of shit happening in his life. If we knew back then what we knew now, the hindsight paradox. Anyway, after realizing her mistake, she wanted to get back inside, but she didn't know how to handle him. Had to throw his ass out for a short time, sake. But no, he took his stuff and drove off in his car. A beat up yellow and black Maverick. 2-door. And he head out for his drug adventures. came back that some of his misadventures took a hell of a toll on him. Not just the chemical, but the emotional stuff. Somebody he loved and cared about passed away. He was going to die too. But Will's fate, God, whatever, saved his ass. Didn't like it, but it saved his ass. He comes back home. Originally, I was going to throw his ass out there because I was sick and tired of his bullshit. I didn't want my brother anymore. I hated his ass. But here's the thing. In between throwing his ass out and him coming back home, coming up as a skeleton, literally, I went out there looking for him in different places that I didn't think he'd go to and still couldn't find him. And I had to give up on it. And he comes to the door, pleading for help. My mother kept vigil all night. She still had to go to work the next day. She was existing on coffee and herbs, cigarettes. And my brother, I had to keep an eye on the bastard. Until he got to a point where he was trying to do things and trying to rebuild his life. I had to think about that last night. Because the person who, according to the reports, came to California and was a drunkard. Somewhere in the streets. We don't know where the hell she was. One area that she was last reported at a homeless resource center that was trying to give out food and stuff to people in hope. And that was the last time that person was seen. But beyond that, we don't know. So the mass panic came in. And I just scream out, and where the hell is this person at? I don't know. We have no information and no clue. But now, I don't know anymore. Do I hope this person's going to be found? Maybe. Is it going to be likely? I don't know. I'm supposed to have faith and hope in this one. After hearing all the shit going on that we're putting ourselves through, I wonder a lot. I hope, if there is such a thing, that there is something to hold on to, is something that more precious than anything else we've got. Maybe this person will be found. Maybe this person will be found alive. Probably either a drunk tank in a sheriff's department or maybe in a hospital, but alive. Because I hate to think of the alternative. All effort wasted if there was any effort locating this person. Millions of people are trying to find a needle in a haystack. Yes, it would take a miracle from God on this one. It needs one. We all need one. We need a win. We need a win for humanity. We need a win for ourselves. We need a win of something to hold on to. After hearing all the shit we're putting ourselves through, there has to be something good. There has to be something, a glimmer of something. Maybe fool's gold for some, but maybe we're still looking for that nugget of gold. Let's hope we can find it. We need to hold on to it and don't let go.